Hi, I'm Ningambika. Welcome to Consumer Behavior video. So today I'll be talking about the Module 3 Individual Influence on Consumer Behavior and CL. So in my previous video, we all discussed about the Module 1 and Module 2 of the consumer behavior. So let us talk about the individual influence, how the individual will impact on the consumer buying decision making, consumer behavior. So there are so many platforms that we will understand, like motivation is there, perception is there. So based on that, how it will impact on the consumer behavior. So we'll discuss more about this in this particular module. Yes. So before getting into the motivation, let us understand the meaning of what are needs, wants, what are goals. So there should be a need, right? For everyone, there will be a need to buy a product, to purchase the product, or to make a decision. There should be a need. So let us understand the general meaning of needs, wants, and goals. So needs are nothing but every individual has a need that are required to be fulfilled. So it might be a primary need or it might be a secondary need. Primary needs are nothing but food, clothing, shelter. Those are the basic needs which every individual required to sustain, right? And the secondary needs are the some kind of needs which is again higher to the basic needs like societal, cultural, name, fame, all those come as a secondary need. So this is the basic need every individual wants. So when we know the meaning of need, then what might be the wants? Wants are nothing but need are the necessity, they want it, but wants are something more in addition to the needs. That is something more than the basic needs. I can just explain with an example. Food is a need and type of food is our want. I want a food to survive, but in the food only I want some varieties. Vegetarian, non-vegetarians. In vegetarian we have so many category of foods. In non-vegetarians we have so many category of foods. Non-veg items, veg items. Yes, so that specifications are called as want. It is nothing but something more in addition to the need is called as wants. Coming to the goals, goals are the objective that have to be fulfilled. So that is goals are nothing but the norms are the objectives that an individual to be fulfilled. When it is going to the organization, they have organization goals and objectives. Goals are generic and product specific in nature. Generic goals are general in nature, whereas product specific goals are the desire of a specific nature. So if I want to explain with the product specific goal, so what is the goal of a particular product? To satisfy the consumer needs and desires. That's the goal of a product, right? So that explains product specific goals. What is the specific nature of that product? How is gonna it will convince the consumer? How will the consumer will get attracted with that particular product? That is the goals. So let us sum up with needs are nothing but the basic needs which is required for an individual to survive. Wants are nothing but addition to the needs. What specification of food they are expecting. That is called as wants. But the goals are nothing but that the generic product generic or a specific nature, specific in nature. If the consumer want to buy a particular product, there should be some specific nature which the consumer will get attracted. That is called as product specific goals. So next we'll understand what is motivation. So motivation we use everywhere. The organization, the general life, or in the consumer prospect. So motivation is very important. So what is the word motivation mean? The term motivation has been derived from the word motive. Motive may be defined as an inner state of our mind that activates. It is a kind of an inner state of mind. So if I want to clear my exam, so I'll have a motive that I have to clear it whatever it is. I need to clear this paper. That inner mind of me will provoke me to reach that particular goal. Yes, and directs our behavior that will push me to go and reach that particular goal. Like I need to go read the books, I need to prepare for the exam, so I need to do it. When I do all these things, I can clear the paper. So that is kind of a motivation what my inner mind is preparing me to push me to clear the exams or something. That is an example. It makes us move to act. It is always internal to us and is externalized via our behavior. It is always inside us, right? Because it is pushing us to reach something and externalize our behavior. Based on it, our behavior will depend on. So motivation is one's willingness to exert efforts towards the accomplishment of this his or her goal. So it is making internally to be strong and making a story's particular goal is called as motivation in general meaning. What is positive motivation? So positive motivation, as the title only says, it is positively motivating a person or an individual to do specific work. That is called as positive motivation. So positive motivation is a response which includes enjoyment, optimism about the task that you are involved in. So positive motivation always helps the individual to do specific work best possible manner and also to improve his performance. So under these better facilities, they will get rewarded. That is a kind of a positive motivation when employee gets. For example, he need to complete a particular work or a task. Let us take a project as an example. He needed to complete the project by November end. So he has completed the project within the November 15th only. That is a motivation he has to get done. So what the organization should make, organization do, should give some kind of a reward which is positively motivating him. Okay, I've done the job within 15, so I got a reward. Very next time I need to do the best job such that I can get again reward also. So this is the process of positive motivation works. So such rewards and facilities may be financially and non-financially. Sometimes it will be in the form of monetary benefit, sometimes it may be not in the non-monetary benefit. Monetary benefit, it might be hike in the salary, bonus, etc. Non-monetary benefit, it's like moving to the higher level, higher post. That says about the positive non-monetary benefit comes under positive motivation. Negative motivation. So negative motivation aims at controlling the negative efforts of the work. So if a person is not completing the project within November 30th, then he'll be punished. That is a kind of negative motivation because the deadline is already clearly explained by the higher level. So if he is not completing with his laziness, with his not due to some uncertainties, but in order to make him to put into action, some kind of a negative effort will be taken to make him motivated. So it is sometimes if you are not completing the project within 30 years, then you need to take on other two projects you should work on it. So that is kind of a negative motivation making him to work in a better time. If he completes within 30 years, he'll not get another two projects to be completed. Right? So that's the reason making them very clear about the what is negative motivation, how it is impacting them. So almost all students will experience positive and negative motivation as well as loss of motivation at different times during their life at university. Yes, so students, now we are in the college. When you are not completing the particular work or assignment, you will be not getting an internal marks for an assignment, right? So that is a negative motivation. If you are completing the work in a given time period, then you will be getting the better marks. The positive motivation. So these all you have already experienced when you are studying and now you are studying at all. Studying continued, right? So both positive and negative motivation will inspire the people to work betterly, efficiently, and get benefited out of it. So now we'll understand the process of motivation. So you can see the tabular form needs and derives. So we know what is needs, derives and wants. Then tension, need again if you have any specific need. So you need to reach that need. So you will understand what step I can make, what way I should go, which direction I should go, what are the steps I should follow it. That again consists of environment, that again consists of some kind of a stress I should reach that particular goal. That is tension and effort. Effort is says about if I want to reach that particular goal, I should follow this are my flow chart, or these are my plans that I can reach it. That says efforts putting into action to move towards your goal. Performance. Keep following the flow chart, following the plans. That emphasis on your performance, how best you have done the performance. Then it is reward. So since you have done better job, you will be getting rewards. And once you get a reward, you will be satisfied. That is your ultimate need. That is what the tabular column or the flowchart explains. Needs and derives. Just I explain with an example. You had a need to score a good name in your organization. Example, Mr. X want to be a good employee of an organization with the proper reward of monetary benefit. That is his need. So to reach that particular goal, so he need to have a backup plan. How he can have the project has been given to him, it should be completed by November end, going back to the same example. So Mr. X will think, so I have only 1 month of time. How will I complete? He'll be thinking. So in that way, he might be stressed out. That is tension. He will put up with some plans and he'll go in the form. That is efforts is taking care. So by that way, when he is creating the putting the efforts, he is getting a new opportunity, saying that okay, if I go in this particular direction, I can reach my target very easily. So by that way, he will create some goals and objectives. I'll go in this particular direction, and this is my performance. How I completed my job within a 1 month of time. Seeing that his manager will be rewarded him, that he is satisfied with the work. Ultimately, with that reward, his need has been satisfied. What was his need? To be a good employee of an organization and to get a better benefit or reward. So that is need satisfaction. Again, one need is completed. Again, he'll come up with the other need. This is the process of motivation, which is never ending process because human wants and desires needs are not completable. It is one or other way it will be going adding on, right? So that is the process of motivation. Flowchart explains all about. Next, so now we understand what is the meaning of motivation, means, wants, goals, process, positive and negative motivation. Then, keeping that as some of the few concepts as a base, we'll understand the motivation theories and strategies. So when it is coming to the motivation theory, the very common theory is Maslow's hierarchy theory of motivation and MC Dure's psychological motives. Keeping these two motivation theory as a base, we'll try to understand the consumer behavior, how it will impact. The first one, Maslow's theory of motivation. So this is very common theory. Each and every person will be knowing. That is, these are the theory explains about the basic needs of an employee or an individual, right? Physiological needs, safety needs, social needs, esteem needs, and self-actualization needs. So what is physiological needs? So physiological needs are the needs which to sustain a human life. What is more important? Food, water, shelter, sleep, medicine, education, etc. These are the basic needs required to an individual to sustain. So Maslow was an opinion that until these needs are satisfied, he cannot concentrate on further things. Yes, so basic needs should be satisfied. The next one is security or safety needs. So when the basic needs are convinced or satisfied, then he will think about the security or safety. So I got food, I got home to stay and all. So now I should think for a job. That says about the safety need. So these are the needs to be free of physical danger and the fear of losing a job. So he got a job and he should have some kind of a security. So you can see due to current situation, many have been employees have been removed from the organization. They don't have safety. In that way, the consumer should, in that way, the individual should be prepared enough to take a very strict decision such that he can be safely, safely lead his life. Yes, so it also includes protecting against any emotional harm. So that says about the security or safety needs. The next one is social needs. Since people are social beings, they need to belong to be accepted by others. People try to satisfy their need for affection, acceptance, and friendship. So safety and social need says when you got a safety and you have been in a good position, so next thing you will try to get along with the people, get along with the society. Yes, that talks about the social needs accepted by others. So whatever your views, whatever your ideology, whatever type of your working, it should be accepted by others. It might be a friend, it might be affection, acceptance, all talk about the social needs. The next one is esteem needs. According to Maslow's, once people began to satisfy their needs, next they will try to think about themselves, esteem both by themselves by other. It might be this kind of a satisfaction, power, prestigious status that talk about the esteem need. So what he is, if he is a good in a society, he expects some kind of a respect, prestige, some kind of a self-confidence. He'll try to understand the esteem need. The next one is need for actualization, self-actualization. So Maslow sees the word highest need in his hierarchy. It is the drive to become what one is capable of becoming. So what you want to reach, he has got all the all needs has been satisfied. He has settled, he got recognition. Next, he will think, is it only the life or should I think about something? How can I be self-satisfied, self-actualized? He will think. So it is to maximize one's potential and to accomplish something. That talks about the need for self-actualization. Now we understand the different Maslow's. needs of certain needs of motivation. So let us connect this with the Maslow's hierarchy of needs in marketing. How it is helpful in the marketing. So biological and physiological needs like fire, child health and social security, simultaneous roadside recovery, all this again connected to the physiological needs. Keeping that as a concept, they need to come up with some kind of a product which create a security to the consumers or an individual safety needs. Safety needs always talk about the home security products like insurance, alarms, as well as CC cameras that talk about safety needs. Keeping this as a bit, they can come up with other types of products, belongingness and love needs. About some websites are there now. We can see marriage matrimony.com are there, and matrimony is there, Indian marriage.coms are there. So many sites are there where they can get along with the people. It might be in terms of affection. When it is coming to the friends, Facebook is there, WhatsApp is there, social medias are there. Keeping this as a base, they try to connect the people with each other. As you can see, that dating and matchmaking services that I can talk about the belongingness and needs. Esteem needs talk about the prestige. So you can, if you want some prestige as a base, what type of product you can reach? You can go for a cars, different varieties of sophisticated cars, or cosmetics, fashion clothes. This called about the estimates. Self-actualization, so open university that is about little else in mainstream media because it's only 2% of the population are self-actualization. So they don't continue a very big part of the mainstream market. So self-actualization, they will not consider much on it because only 2% of the population think about self-actualization. Others they will be busy with understanding of the other needs. So these are the marketing application of Maslow's hierarchy of needs. Next, MC Gur's psychological motives. So MC Gur's psychological motives talk about four concepts. It is cognitive preservation motives, cognitive growth motives, affective preservation motives, and affective growth motives. So these are the four. These are the So the coming back to my MC Gur's psychological motives, talk about both the cognitive preservation motive and cognitive growth motives, affective preservation motives, and affective growth motives. So these are the four motives we'll try to talk in MC Gur's psychological model. So let us understand one after the other. The first one is need for consistency. The moment we say need for consistency, we talk about active and internal. Active and internal. So people try to buy things which are consistent with their liking taste. So as a consumer, they try to purchase a product which are always try to like with the product what exactly the consumer likes, and it should have a consistency in buying it. Like a sophisticated person always choose the colors, clothing plan, paintings on the wall, etc. So they go for a consistency in what they want to buy it, and it is always active and internally inside the consumer. And need for attribution talk about active and external. So we often attribute the cause of a favorable or unfavorable outcome to ourselves to some outside element. So consumers will get attracted to the outside element. So you can buy your shoes by your choice, may not like them. So whatever you like, try out to purchase it. Sometimes you people may not like it, or you are the one who purchase a product. When you come back to home, you may not like it. Yes, so that says about the need for attribution, where sometimes your friend may do not like it, or sometimes your friend may advise it, but you buy it, but ultimately you may not like it. That says about need for attribution and need to categorize that talk about the passive or internal. So the objects are categorized in number of ways. The most popular is the price. So if it is 2 lakhs, people look it is very high. If it is 1,99,999, that looks little lesser, right? That is a kind of passively attracting the consumer. This is practiced in shoes made by Bata and other, and some of the sites will be purchased for higher rights. So 1,99,000 medicine. Coming to shoes, 499. Bata is the best company who will come up with this particular of marketing strategy. The next one is need for objectification. So these are hints and symbols that affect our feelings And this is all related to the passive external. The use of a product can be enhanced by providing proper cues to purchasers. So this talk about the cognitive preservation motives. As it says preservation, how can they preserve the product and how can they make a decision? Next one, cognitive growth motive. So again, cognitive growth motive consists of one, need for autonomy, need for stimulation, teleological need, utilitarian need. So need for autonomy talk about the active and internal, which explains about the self-government is characteristics of the need at some level, how can they purchase it? So Americans are taught that it is proper and even essential to express, fulfill these needs. Need for stimulation talk about the active and external, which is certain respect, want to be consociations. Talk about the product, what is his experience for the good. So what are the type of novelties offered for traveling agency? That is stimulating them to attract it. And the next one is theological needs, talk about the passive internal. So that talks about this motive proposal used to prefer mass media such as motive, television, and also programs and books with the outcome that match your view. The last one is utilitarian need, that is passive and external. Talk about the problem solver who approaches situation opportunities. So altogether these four let's talk about the growth motive. How can they reach the motives in terms of growth? And the next one is affective preservation motive. So how it will impact on the preservation motives. That is need for tension reduction. How can they reduce the tension? Need for expression. How well they can express the wrong of the person. Need for ego defense, where he will be talking about the passive and internal. How do he will project a proper image. We use this particular product. The best examples are deodorants are used for ego defense and need for reinforcement. Talk about the appreciating by others. It reinforces our views and behavior to choose a choice and we go in for repeat purchase. That is affective preservative motives. The last one is affective growth motives that talk about need for certain, need for affiliation, need for identification, and need for modeling. So these needs are fulfilled by engaging in those kind of activities that bring self-esteem and esteem in the eyes of others. That is need for separation, need for affiliation. Indirectly, we get affiliated to other person who will tell them to purchase particular product. So it is the need to develop mutually helpful and satisfying relationship with others. And the next one, need for identification. So these theories view the consumer as a role player. One gains pleasure while the other one satisfies the rules. Identifying it, accepting it, satisfying it. That's all. Identification. Last one is need for modeling. We try to copy our heroines and our parents and those who are modeling. We admire them and go accordingly. That is all about the need for modeling. This is talk about the Miss McGuire's motive theory. So these are the different types of motivation theory. Thank you students. Thanks for watching my video. Have a very good day.